this is Brian Tatler from Diamond Head, and you're watching Slade in Oregon. The main influence, I always think, with Diamond Head was probably Black Sabbath, but we also, all four members liked a lot of different bands. We didn't just like, say, Black Sabbath, for example, because I think we would have just sounded exactly like Black Sabbath had that happened, because that does happen with bands nowadays, I notice. They just sound exactly like one particular band. So we liked bands like Free, and Zeppelin, obviously, and Purple, and Genesis, and Gentle Giant, and lots and lots of things outside, UFO, you know, outside, you know, not just rock, but we'll also be listening to, you know, pop of the day, things like T-Rex and Sweet and Slade and, you know, Mott the Hoople, you name it. But I think it probably all came into the melting pot, and that helped make Diamond Head original, that we're all bringing in slightly different ways of playing and ideas, so that eventually the 7 songs that we chose, because we also had written about 100 songs by the time that album came out, which again doesn't happen very often. Most bands will write enough songs for the album, maybe a B-side or something, and we'd been going 4 years, and we'd written 100 songs and played 50 gigs. So we were able to sort of pick all our best stuff and pop it onto that album. And I think that helped make the album even stronger. The reason behind Metallica covering 4 Diamond Head songs is because I asked Lars about this. I said, why do you keep doing covers when you could write your own material and you could make obviously more money because you're doing your own material, you're getting songwriters' royalties? He said, we only write enough songs for the album, so when the management want B-sides, or the record company, they want B-sides, they want extra tracks, they want a bonus track for Japan, etc., etc., they hit on the idea of doing cover versions, and he said, and that way it helps pay back some of the bands that influenced us, like Diamond Head, but also we don't have to agonize over writing this song that isn't going to be on the album. think it was just a case of when Metallica started, they used to do cover versions, didn't they? Most of their set was cover versions. At one point they were doing 6 Diamond Head songs. So I think that they just decided, you know, they will write their own songs and they will add them to their set as they go, but they're happy to do covers at first. So they'd already learned maybe Am I Evil and The Prince and things like that. So when it came to record them, they were just doing songs that they'd already played live, and it probably helped make it quicker. So that's my short answer. You've got control if you've self-funded, haven't you? You haven't got to answer to anybody, and also then you own it. You don't have to give it away, do you? You will always own it, unless you sell the product or the copyright. All we did was license it to a label, and then when they've had their period, the copyright comes back to me or the band. So if the album does really well, you can make a fortune. But if you only sell a few thousand copies, then yeah, you pay for the cost of making it, and you might take out some adverts and things like that. But if it don't sell really well, you don't make much money because it doesn't sell. And really, one way to sell a record is promotion, isn't it? You know, so get yourself in the magazines, get yourself on TV, get yourself on the radio, and all that costs money. So if you haven't got a label, then you can't really do any of that, and therefore it doesn't reach a very wide audience, and it's a bit catch-22 that, you know. So you only end up selling to your fans, really, preaching to the converted. We released an acoustic EP in 2002. 4 songs, 4 old songs, rearranged for acoustic. We did Heat of the Night, Light into the Nations, Ishmael, and something else. And we just did that ourselves as well. Paid for the recording, paid for the pressing, paid for the artwork, sold them at gigs, sold them on the net. But that was a bit of an odd project, that was. But it was okay. You know, it's a curio. I like with the internet. I like that you can promote your gigs by going on, you know, your website and Facebook and things like that. You didn't have that, did you? Years ago, you'd have had to rely on press, call up the, you know, can you get this new gig guide? You might have had to take out an advert and stuff like that. But you can do all that for free now, can't you, on your social networking sites? But yeah, it's, you know, CD sales keep keep plummeting, don't they? So bands make less money from physical release. But then again, if you're a good band and people like your music, they will seek you out, I think. You know, word of mouth, passing on, these are great, that you should listen to that. If you like this, you might like that. So eventually you do find your audience, and people can pick, you know, find Diamond Head on YouTube or Spotify or whatever. And you know, even if you haven't got any of the records and you can't get any of the records, then you could still listen to Diamond Head through, in some way, shape or form. So I quite like that about it, you know. I mean, I use YouTube and stuff. If there's a guitar thing I want to learn, or, you know, and there's somebody somewhere will have recorded themselves playing this song, and I can, see where his hands go on the neck, and, you know, I would have loved that when I was 17, trying to learn, you know, Led Zeppelin songs and Van Halen, but all we had was audio. You either had a cassette or the album, the vinyl album, and you'd try and copy from that. But now, you know, I enjoy going on YouTube and learning new things that way. I don't know how, if I was a new band now trying to make it, I'd probably be a bit confused by it all. You know, the amount of information out there on the net is so phenomenal. It's kind of like, how do you get noticed? You know, there's 10,000 bands here, and how do you become a band that gets big enough to get signed, or gets you know, can draw people to your concerts. You know, if you can draw people to the concert, then you can get signed, because I think ultimately record companies still want to sign bands that will sell records, and it helps if you've got a following, doesn't it? You know, that's a big you know, incentive to sign a band that's already, you know, done a lot of work, really, paid the dues.